Students, continuing from the previous topic that we have started, we have completed the fetal membrane, the extraembryonic membrane present around the fetus, developing fetus. To assist out the development, we have seen there are four fetal membranes: amnion, chorion, allantois, yolk sac. All these structures were present around the fetus so that it could be protected, it could respire, it could excrete out, it could have a kind of shock and jerk absorption, so that all membranes are working there to provide a kind of protection. There are different kind of functions they are being provided there. Then we have started the placenta. Placenta is a kind of connection between the developing fetus and the mother, so that it could exchange each and everything from the mother's body, because our egg, yesterday in the previous lecture only we have seen in our body, our egg, the human egg, is aleacetal egg that is not having enough amount of yolk that could be survived. On that amount of the yolk, the embryo cannot survive for the complete embryonic development. So that they have made an arrangement. They are driving the nutrition, everything, every material from the maternal body only, and for that they have modified a structure of their fetus only, that is in form of the placenta. And we have seen also the chorionic villi and the uterine endometrium structures are intermingled with each other, interdigitated with each other, and form a tough structure that is called as placenta. At the point of attachment, decidua is being formed. So remember, so placenta is what? Is a kind of structure which is going to provide the medium of exchange for the materials between the developing fetus and the mother. So here we are just continuing with the types of placenta, and sometimes this topic is being read under the head of placentation in the mammals also. So types of placenta are the placentation in mammals. So what are the types of placenta? So we are just going to understand the types of placenta first of all on the basis of structure. On the basis of structure means what? The placenta, the structure of placenta is made of the two parts. One part is contributed by the mother and one part is contributed by the fetus itself. एक भाग मदर से आता है और एक भाग fetus से खुद ही आता है. The part which is contributed by mother is made of the uterine endometrium, and the fetal part is made by the chorion. That you have understood well in the previous lecture only. The chorion and allantois combine together to form the chorioallantois or allantochorion, that is going to give rise the placenta thereon. So here we are just going to understand based on the structure of placenta. So remember my dear child, प्लेसेंटा के फॉर्मेशन में तीन लेयर या तीन कंपोनेंट भाग लेते हैं मदर से और तीन कंपोनेंट भाग लेते हैं fetus के. 3 components from the mother and 3 components from the fetus. So that means what? There is a kind of 6 barrier layers are present in between the maternal blood and the fetal blood. 6 barrier layer होती हैं जिसमें maternal blood और fetal blood को अलग किया होता है. वो कैसे? Just try to understand the structure of placenta. Here I'm just focusing, I'm just going to make a focus on that diagram only. Here first of all, the fetal part and the maternal part. The maternal part and the fetal part, what is there? In the fetal part, first of all, the chorionic epithelium. I just made the numbering also. Chorionic epithelium number 1. Then chorionic connective tissue just below the chorionic epithelium, that is chorionic connective tissue number 2. And the innermost is called as endothelium of the fetal blood vessels. So fetal blood vessels, the आप जानते हैं epithelium of the blood vessel is called as endothelium. So तीन part आते हैं, तीन structure आते हैं from the fetal side. Chorionic epithelium, chorion का epithelium, the chorionic connective tissue just below the chorionic epithelium, and third one is the endothelium of the fetal blood vessels. और इसके बाद इधर आ जाएगा आपका fetal blood. And here just opposite to that, in front of the chorionic epithelium, uterine epithelium is also present there. That is barrier number 4. Then uterine connective tissue, barrier number 5. Endothelium of the maternal blood vessel, that is the barrier number 6. So total 6 barriers are present there in the structure of placenta. So अगर आपसे histological basis पे पूछा जाता है तो you must be ready with that. On the histological ground there are 6 layers present, 6 structures are present, that is going to composed of the placenta. दोनों का एंडोथेलियम, दोनों का कनेक्टिव टिश्यू और दोनों का एपिथेलियम. So moving on to the types of the placenta based on the structure or histology. So on the basis of histology, first type of placenta is called as epitheliochorial placenta. The first type of placenta is called as epitheliochorial placenta. Epitheliochorial placenta का मतलब होता है the placenta in which all six barriers are present. Epitheliochorial means what? The placenta in which all six barriers are present, that is called as epitheliochorial placenta. All six barrier मतलब यहाँ पे कोई भी layer degenerate नहीं होती है. The all six layers means endothelium of maternal blood, uterine connective tissue, uterine epithelium, chorionic epithelium, connective tissue and endothelium. Everything is present in between the fetal blood and the mother blood. That means what? The epithelium of the maternal uterine cavity or uterus is comes in the contact with the chorionic epithelium. That is why this is called as what? Epitheliochorial placenta. एग्जाम्पल हमेशा इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं नीट एग्जामिनेशन के लिए. सो एग्जाम्पल्स आर देयर पैरिसोडेक्टाइला, ऑड हूव्ड मैमल्स. एग्जाम्पल मिलेंगे हॉर्स, एस एंड द मार्सुपियल्स. Next one is next type of the placenta based on the structure, that is syndesmochorial placenta. Syndesmochorial placenta, syndesmo means the connective tissue. So syndesmochorial placenta में क्या होता है? Only 5 barriers are present. Only 5 barriers are present. और 5 barrier present होंगे तो degeneration chorionic part से शुरू नहीं होगा. Degeneration will start from the uterine part only. So here 5 barriers are present and you can understand 5 barriers are present means first of all which one is going to degenerate? The uterine epithelium is going to degenerate. Means what happens? The uterine connective tissue will come in the contact of the chorionic epithelium. So that's why syndesmo. Syndesmo means the connective tissue, chorionic epithelium. So connective tissue, uterine connective tissue comes in the contact with the chorionic epithelium. That is why this is called as what? Syndesmochorial. So only 5 barriers are there. Maternal epithelium degenerates, uterine epithelium degenerates. So 5 barriers are there, and due to the degeneration of maternal epithelium or uterine epithelium, the connective tissue comes directly in contact of the chorionic epithelium. Example: Artiodactyla, even hoofed mammals, cattle, sheep, giraffe, camel. इसमें हम सीधे ये बोल सकते हैं कि all the cattles are there, those who are being placed in the syndesmochorial placenta. मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट, epitheliochorial placenta. अब एक के बाद एक वैसे ही लेयर डिजेनरेट होती जाएंगी. epitheliochorial placenta, सॉरी एंडोथेलियोकोरियल प्लेसेंटा. एंडोथेलियोकोरियल प्लेसेंटा मतलब केवल 4 बैरियर्स होंगे. ओनली 4 बैरियर्स आर प्रेजेंट इन एंडोथेलियोकोरियल प्लेसेंटा. ओनली 4 बैरियर्स आर प्रेजेंट. अब इसमें दो कौन कौन से डिजेनरेट हो गए? यूटेराइन इपिथेलियम पहले ही चला गया था, अब यूटेराइन कनेक्टिव टिश्यू चला जाएगा. तो अब बचा क्या? एंडोथेलियम ऑफ द मैटरनल ब्लड वेसल, एंड दैट इज गोइंग टू कम डायरेक्टली इन द कॉन्टेक्ट विद द कोरियोनिक इपिथेलियम. दैट इज व्हाई दिस इज कॉल्ड एज व्हाट? एंडोथेलियो. एंडोथेलियम मींस व्हाट? एंडोथेलियम ऑफ द मैटरनल ब्लड. Chorial means chorionic epithelium. So here what will happen? These two are going to degenerate. So this layer will come closer to the chorionic epithelium. So only 4 barriers are there. 1, 2, 3 and 4 barriers. So that is why this is called as endotheliocorial, because the endothelium of the maternal blood vessel comes in the contact with the chorionic epithelium. So only 4 barriers. So uterine epithelium and connective tissue degenerates. Example है carnivora is the order of the mammalia. All the carnivorous mammals are being included there in the carnivora. Moving on to the next one is there hemochorial. Many of the time in many of the competitive examination this question was asked, because this is the type of placenta present in the primates. Okay, so hemochorial placenta. Hemochorial placenta, only 3 barriers are being present. All 3 layers of the maternal part or maternal part of the placenta is going to degenerate. Only 3 barrier are present. All maternal structures are degenerated. मतलब क्या है यहाँ पे? यूटेराइन इपिथेलियम गया, यूटेराइन कनेक्टिव टिश्यू गया, एंडोथेलियम था वो भी गया. तो अब यहाँ पे क्या था? मैटरनल ब्लड था. सो मैटरनल ब्लड इज डायरेक्टली कमिंग इनटू द कांटेक्ट ऑफ द कोरियोनिक एपिथेलियम. दैट इज व्हाई हीमो मींस व्हाट? द ब्लड. कोरियोनिक एपिथेलियम. सो मैटरनल ब्लड इज कम्स इन डायरेक्ट कांटेक्ट विद द कोरियोनिक एपिथेलियम. दैट इज व्हाई दिस इज कॉल्ड एज व्हाट? hemochorial placenta. So hemochorial placenta, all 3 uterine layer, all 3 maternal structures are being digested, degenerated, and the maternal blood comes in directly contact to the chorionic epithelium. Example is का humans. That is why this is very important. Apes means the primates. The other primate is there that is going to perform, or that is going to show the presence of hemochorial placenta. So hemochorial placenta is present there in the primate. This is very important. Now next one more important thing is there hemoendothelial placenta. हीमो एंडोथीलियल प्लेसेंटा में केवल एक बैरियर रहता है, बाकी 5 बैरियर डिजेनरेट हो जाते हैं. कौन कौन से डिजेनरेट हो जाते हैं? Already we have degenerated from the maternal part: endothelium of the maternal blood, uterine connective tissue, uterine epithelium. We have already degenerated. कोरियोनिक एपिथेलियम भी डिजेनरेट हो जाएगा यहाँ पे, कोरियोनिक कनेक्टिव टिश्यू भी डिजेनरेट हो जाएगा. बचेगा केवल क्या? एंडोथेलियम ऑफ द ब्लड वेसल. मीन्स व्हाट? मैटरनल ब्लड विल कम इन द कॉन्टेक्ट ऑफ द कोरियोनिक एंडोथेलियम. आर यू गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? मैटरनल ब्लड सीधे किसके कांटेक्ट में आएगा? इन द कांटेक्ट ऑफ द एंडोथेलियम ऑफ द फीटल ब्लड. सो दिस इज व्हाई दिस इज कॉल्ड एज हीमो. मींस ब्लड will come into the contact of the endothelial layer of the fetal blood. So only one barrier, that is why fetal endothelium is present. Rest all structures are degenerate. 5 layers are being degenerated, only one barrier layer is present, that is endothelium of the fetal blood cell, present in the rat and rabbit. That is very unique case. So now it is clear to you all. Epitheliochorial, all 6 barrier present. Syndesmochorial, 5 barrier present. So degenerate क्या हो गया? Uterine epithelium. Endotheliocorial, only 4 barriers are present. Means what? The 2 layers will be degenerated. Uterine epithelium, uterine connective tissue. Hemochorial, the endothelium of maternal blood is also, maternal blood vessel is also going to degenerate, and the maternal blood will come in the contact of the chorionic epithelium. तो केवल 3 barrier रहेंगे. देन हीमो एंडोथेलियल, 5 लेयर खत्म हो जाएंगी. द मैटरनल ब्लड विल कम डायरेक्टली इन द कॉन्टेक्ट ऑफ द एंडोथेलियम ऑफ द फीटल ब्लड. मीन्स ओनली वन बैरियर इज प्रेजेंट, दैट इज एंडोथेलियम ऑफ द फीटल ब्लड सेल. सो दिस इज व्हाट द types of placenta based on the structure, or we can say based on the histology of the placenta. Moving on to the next basis of the division, next basis of the classification. Next one is based on the uterine wall, or we can say based on the attachment with the uterine wall, or we can say which part of the uterine wall is going to fall off with the childbirth. After the childbirth, with part of the uterine wall or uterine connection is being fallen off. So based on the uterine wall, there are 3 types of the placenta. My dear child, if you have remember, the part of the uterus where the implantation occur, where the placenta form, that is called as decidua. We have seen 3 types of decidua, 3 layers of decidua: decidua basalis, capsularis, parietalis. All these 3 layers are there. So decidua is the part of uterus by which is going to participate in the formation of placenta. So non-deciduous, first type of the placenta based on the uterine wall attachment. Non-deciduous means to say, deciduous का मतलब होता है deciduous. So non-deciduous means what? कि when the childbirth does not followed by the breaking down of decidua or endometrial lining or uterine part. So no uterine part is breaking off after the childbirth. Are you getting my point? No uterine part is breaking off after the childbirth. That time it is called as non-deciduous. What is non-deciduous placenta? when decidua is not falling off after the childbirth. So अगर ये fall off नहीं हो रहा है तो there will be no damage on the endometrial lining of the uterus, and there will be almost no bleeding is present. Almost no bleeding is there, or we can say very less amount of bleeding is there. Example, horse and the ass of the non-deciduous placenta. So non-deciduous, decidua गिरेगा नहीं, uterus वहीं का वहीं attach रह जाएगा after the childbirth. So there will be no bleeding or almost bleeding is absent. So second type, that is true placenta, we can say, our most common type of the placenta that is present in most of the mammal, that is called as deciduous placenta. Deciduous placenta means what? The part of uterine endometrium that is called as decidua will fall off, detach off after the childbirth, and will come out from the vaginal canal or birth canal after the childbirth. So part of uterus called decidua is detached and passed out with the childbirth. So this is only the true placenta, and most of the mammals are having such kind of the placenta. Moving on to next one, the contradeciduate placenta. Contradeciduate placenta में क्या होता है? The fetal part of placenta is also retained and absorbed by the maternal leukocyte for providing nutrition. यहाँ पे fetal part भी नहीं गिरता. Maternal part and fetal part, both the parts are being absorbed there inside the uterine structure only by the maternal leukocyte, so that it could provide the additional nutrition. Are you getting my point? पहले में क्या हुआ था? The maternal part गिरा ही नहीं, that is non-deciduous. Second में क्या हुआ? The true placenta, the maternal part, that is deciduous, falls off. In third one, both maternal part and the fetal part is being retained there on for the purpose of for the seeking of the nutrition, and they are being absorbed by the maternal leukocytes. This is very unique case and present there in the talpa and paramylase. Moving on to the next one. Next type of the placenta, that is based on the villi. Villi means the chorionic villi. You know very well the projection, finger-like projections were present at the site of implantation. That finger-like projections are called as chorionic villi. So based on the presence of chorionic villi, how they are being present over the surface, how they are being distributed over the surface. So based on that, there are the placenta, diffused placenta. Diffuse placenta, when villi are uniformly distributed on the surface of the chorion. So when the villi are uniformly distributed over the surface, example है horse or pig. Here in that diagram, it's a very easy diagram, you can understand very well. The villi are present all over the surface of the placenta. Next one, cotyledonary placenta. Cotyledonary placenta, villi are present in form of the tufts. So this is present in form of the tuft present in the cattles. Example याद रखना है, बाकी कुछ आपको याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं. यहाँ पे jonary placenta, villi is arranged in two transverse band. Villi is arranged in two transverse band means दो बैंड्स बनते हैं like that. This one band of the villi, second band of the villi. So these two transverse band are there in which the villi are arranged, and this is the property of carnivora. One example you have to take care here, that is elephant. So all the carnivorous mammals will have the jonary placenta along with the elephant. Discoidal, villi are restricted to a disc-like area. Here a disc-like area is being situated thereon, and all the villi are confined to this area only. That is why they are called as discoidal placenta. Example, rat, rabbit, bat. Metadiscoidal. Metadiscoidal means what? Villi are restricted to a disc-like area which is fitted into the depression of the uterine wall. Here the uterine wall is going to make a depression and all the villi are going to be fitted thereon. और ये भी दो तरीके का हो सकता है. मोनोडिस्कोइडल, अगर केवल एक ही डिस्क बना होगा तो that is present in the man, and bidiscoidal present in the apes. So metadiscoidal, villi are restricted into the disc-like area which is fitted into the depression of the uterine wall. My dear child, placentation in mammal is very important topic for the NEET examination and the competitive examination. What you have to take care here, that is the example. All the placenta with their example. हमेशा आपको example ही पूछा जाएगा. और ध्यान रखें, in humans if you have to list down the types of placenta or which placenta are present there in the human, so what will you find out here? So पूरा एनालिसिस करते हैं तो ह्यूमंस में कौन कौन से प्लेसेंटा मिलेंगे. हीमोकोरियल, वेयर only three barriers are present, means what? The maternal blood, it comes in the contact of the chorionic epithelium. Deciduous, the true placenta is there, deciduous detaches off. And metadiscoidal means what? The villi are depressed, are found to be depressed inside the uterine wall. एक सॉकेट के अंदर धसे होते हैं और उसमें भी कौन सा है? मोनोडिस्कोइडल है. Now we are moving on to the function of placenta. Even though we have discussed so many times about the functions of the placenta, one by one, very quickly I'm just going to discuss about that. Nutrition, you know very well, because this is going to take out the nutrition, every material from the मैटरनल बॉडी, और अल्ट्रा फिल्टर के फॉर्म में काम करता था. ऑर्गेनिक इनऑर्गेनिक मॉलिक्यूल वगैरह को एब्जॉर्ब करना, ये सारी चीज़ें करना इसका काम था. Respiration, help out in the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. This is very important because if you have heard about that, if you have gone through about that, the maternal blood supply to the fetal blood supply is purely oxygenated blood supply. There is no carbon dioxide is liberated there into the fetal blood from the mother body. Next one, help out in the release of the waste material, that is the excretion. Immunity, that is very important. This is very important. Immunity means what? By the help of placenta, the developing fetus is developing the immunity in itself, because the mother body is having the preformed antibodies for certain type of diseases, and that antibodies are also being filtered out and being transferred to the fetus for seeking their protection against such diseases. Are you getting my point? Immunity means what? It is being achieved by transferring the preformed antibodies for the certain disorder, certain disease from the mother's body to the fetal body, and the fetus is taking the ready-made immunity thereon. That is also a kind of passive immunity. Moving on to the next, transport of the material. Transport of the material, और उसमें important है transport of the pathogen. Transport of pathogen, listen one by one. Placenta is an effective barriers for the toxin like the nicotine, and placenta is an effective barrier for the toxins, but viruses, HIV, measles, rubella, small viruses like HIV, measles, rubella, smallpox can easily pass through the placenta and can cause the congenital disorder. Means what? The placenta can work as an effective barrier for the toxins like histamine, nicotine, etc. But like histamine, but it cannot check out the entry of many of the viruses like that. The viruses that causing the HIV, यही होता है कि the unborn child from the mother only can get the infection of the HIV. ये एक तरीका होता है कि the developing fetus inside the mother's body, if the mother is being affected with the HIV, so that HIV can be enter into the body of fetus. So here viruses like HIV, for measles, rubella, smallpox can easily pass through the placenta. Placenta यहाँ पे फेल है, यहाँ पे वो बैरियर के फॉर्म में काम नहीं कर सकता. These all viruses are passing easily through the placenta and reaches to the fetal blood and can develop the congenital disorders. ये जन्म के साथ उसमें बीमारियां रहेंगी. That is also a kind of matter to take in concern. नेक्स्ट वन, द ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ ड्रग्स. माय डियर चाइल्ड, ड्रग और ड्रग्स में अंतर क्या होता है? यू नोज वेरी वेल. ड्रग मीन्स व्हाट? द मेडिसिन आर द मटेरियल्स विच आर यूज फॉर द ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ द सर्टेन सिम्टम्स. और ड्रग्स रिपीटेड यूज उनको ड्रग्स के फॉर्म में बना देता है. तो ड्रग लाइक निकोटीन, हेरोइन, कोकेन, थैलिडोमाइड कैन पास एंड लीड द फीटल डिफेक्ट. ये ड्रग्स हैं. जैसे निकोटीन, if the mother are having the habit of taking these drugs like nicotine, heroin, cocaine itself, they are being transferred into the fetal blood because placenta cannot filter out these materials. These materials can easily move into the fetal blood. Means what? The fetus will be affected with these drugs. Sometimes the fetus may be affected with the withdrawal symptom also. So remember, this is very crucial, and that is why the females are advised not to undergo in the process of drug addiction. They must have to leave out the smoking and the drugs whatever they are using. एक और एग्जाम्पल इसमें लेते हैं. वन ड्रग इज देयर, दैट इज थैलिडोमाइड. थैलिडोमाइड इज वेरी मच यूजफुल ड्रग इन द ट्रीटिंग ऑफ मॉर्निंग सिकनेस. मॉर्निंग सिकनेस के साथ में नोजिया वगैरह आता है फीमेल्स को एट द टाइम ऑफ प्रेगनेंसी रिटेनिंग. सो उस नोजिया को ट्रीट करने के लिए थैलिडोमाइड नाम की एक ड्रग दी जाती है. That thalidomide is actually working as teratogen. What is teratogen? Teratogen means what? Certain chemicals which are working to alter the development of the fetus और deformed structure का formation करते हैं, उल्टी सीधी structure का formation करते हैं. One structure which has to be developed here, that structure may develop into the abnormal place. So that is called as teratogens. Teratogenesis, abnormal fetus का development होना. So thalidomide is working as an teratogen that is usually used for the treatment of the morning sickness and the nausea, but when it reaches into the fetal blood, it can lead to develop a kind of disorder that is called as phocomelia. Phocomelia is a kind of limb disorder where it is characterized by the deformed limbs and the heart disorder also. Heart is not proper in such cases. So this is to be taken care like that कि the drugs cannot be filtered out. Many of the drugs cannot be filtered out with the placenta, even though placenta is a powerful ultra filter. But these are the drugs, are the materials where the placenta is getting failed. And remember, एक disease होती है placentitis. Sometimes the placenta is also getting infected with the virus and the bacteria. That is called as placentitis, and at that time that is very much easier to get past these materials from the placenta. So remember this point, placentitis is the infection in the placenta. Moving on to the next function, storage, fat, glycogen, iron. एंडोक्राइन कई बार हमने देख लिया है. एंडोक्राइन फंक्शन के फॉर्म में काम करता है. टेम्परेरी एंडोक्राइन स्ट्रक्चर है. क्या क्या रिलीज करता है? ह्यूमन कोरियोनिक गोनेडोट्रोफिन, HPL, human placental lactogen, progesterone, estrogen. One very important hormone at the last of the pregnancy, that is called as relaxin. Relaxin, very important hormone hai, that is going to dilate the pubic symphysis at the time of childbirth so that the child can easily pass through the birth canal. Remember, this is very important. Moving on to the next note, the placenta banking. Nowadays, after the childbirth, this is in tradition, if the facilities are available there in the hospital, so they are collecting and storing out of the stem cells whatever is present there in the placenta. After the childbirth, whatever the stem cells are present in the placenta, they are being stored out in form of the stem bank. That stem cells are being obtained out from the placenta. That is why the process is called as placenta banking. And for stem cell, the placenta and the umbilical cord can be used together, can be used, both the structures can be used, क्योंकि ये दोनों के दोनों स्टेम सेल्स के रिच रिसोर्सेस होते हैं और इन स्टेम सेल्स का कलेक्शन इस पर्पज से किया जाता है कि दैट कैन बी यूजफुल फॉर द ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ द फर्दर congenital disorders and the culture processes also. So remember, placenta banking is the collection of the stem cells, not the placenta, collection of the stem cells present in the placenta as well as in the umbilical cord. So this is all about the placenta. Okay, so I think everything is clear about the placenta and fetal membrane. At the last of the today's topic, I am just going to discuss few changes, few events that has been observed during the complete embryonic development. So moving on to the pregnancy and the embryonic development, our next topic is there, pregnancy and the embryonic development. Okay, so dear students, we are discussing about the pregnancy and the embryonic development. Pregnancy, you know very well, after the fertilization, female is to be pregnant. After implantation, conceptus is being formed, so conception process is started. So pregnancy और embryonic development को दो तरीके से अपन डिस्कस कर सकते हैं. The first one is called as prenatal development, second one is called as postnatal development. Prenatal development का मतलब क्या होता है? All the development which occurs before the childbirth. Postnatal, natal means what? Birth. So postnatal means after the childbirth, whatever the development is there, that is called as the postnatal. Prenatal का मतलब before the childbirth. Postnatal means what? After the childbirth. सो प्री नेटल डेवलपमेंट को हम दो तरीके से समझते हैं, दो तरीके से इसको डिफाइन किया जाता है. फर्स्ट फेज ऑफ द प्री नेटल डेवलपमेंट कंप्लीट्स अप टू द फर्स्ट 8 वीक्स. फर्स्ट 8 वीक्स का मतलब 2 महीने तक का. सो प्री नेटल डेवलपमेंट को दो तरीके से समझा जाता है. फर्स्ट वन इज दैट द फर्स्ट 8 वीक पीरियड ऑफ द प्री नेटल डेवलपमेंट इज कंसिडर्ड एज द एम्ब्रियो. यहाँ तक का जो भी फॉर्म होगा developing structure का, that is called as embryo. Whatever the structure is there, that is called as embryo. First 8 week. Later on till the childbirth, it is called as fetus. Later on means what? From the 9th week till the childbirth, the complete structure or complete developing fetus, complete developing embryo is called as fetus. तो ये क्लियर हुआ. प्रीनेटल में दो फॉर्म बनते हैं. पहला होता है पहले 8 वीक तक के लिए, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज एम्ब्रियो, और उसके बाद में उसको कहा जाता है फीटस टिल द चाइल्ड बर्थ. और चाइल्ड बर्थ के बाद में पोस्टनेटल डेवलपमेंट शुरू हो जाता है. तो शुरुआत में तो फीटस ही कहते हैं, बाद में वो क्या कहलाता है? न्यू बॉर्न बेबी कहलाना शुरू हो जाता है. हियर गेस्टेशन पीरियड बहुत अच्छे से आप जानते हैं. वी हैव डिस्कस द कॉन्सेप्ट देयर इन द फर्स्ट चैप्टर ओनली. गेस्टेशन पीरियड मीन्स द टाइम पीरियड फॉर विच द डेवलपिंग फीटस लिव्स इनसाइड द मदर्स वॉम्ब और द यूटेरस. सो अलग अलग एनिमल्स में अलग अलग होता है. कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट हैं जो यहाँ पे यू मस्ट टेक केयर. ह्यूमंस में 40 वीक्स का गेस्टेशन पीरियड होता है. ओके, 40 weeks मतलब around 10 month, but we are counting it as the 9 month because the pregnancy is being observed after completion of first month of the fertilization. जब पता चलता है तब तक 1 महीना पूरा हो जाता है, and we are just started counting from that way. So this is what, so 40 week period is there. Then dogs 60 to 65 days, cats 50 to 65 days, elephants 607 to 641 days. So this is what some examples are there, but we have to discuss about the humans only. तो humans में 280 days या 40 weeks का gestation period होगा, और इस gestation period को on the basis of embryonic development हम 3 महीने के periods में divide करते हैं, and this 3 month period is called as trimester. So the human gestation period or the embryonic period is divided into 3 trimesters. 3 month period, trimester, tri means 3. So trimester means the period of 3 month. तो होता क्या है ट्राइमेस्टर्स में? फर्स्ट ट्राइमेस्टर में क्या क्या चेंजेस होते हैं, दैट वी हैव टू स्टडी हियर. मोस्ट ऑफ द इंटरनल ऑर्गन्स आर बीइंग कंस्टिट्यूटेड ड्यूरिंग द फर्स्ट 3 मंथ. मोस्ट ऑफ द इंटरनल ऑर्गन्स आर बीइंग कंस्टिट्यूटेड ड्यूरिंग फर्स्ट 3 मंथ. एक पॉइंट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, याद रखेंगे. आफ्टर द फर्स्ट मंथ द फर्स्ट स्ट्रक्चर विच इज बीइंग फॉर्म्ड हियर, दैट इज द हार्ट. Are you getting my point? After first month, after 1 month, the heart is completely functional there in the embryo, and at this time the heartbeat of the embryo can be listened with the help of, or can be recorded with the help of the stethoscope. And this is what the first signal of the growing fetus. When the pregnant female is reaching to a gynecologist is trying to hear out this fetal sound, that heart sound or cardiac sound there on the stethoscope, and this is what the first sound or first evidence of growing fetus therein. So remember here, the heart sound is the first evidence or first sign of growing fetus that can be noticed with the help of stethoscope, that can be listened with the help of stethoscope. तो पहले महीने में हार्ट का डेवलपमेंट पूरा हो जाता है, एंड हार्ट इज द फर्स्ट स्ट्रक्चर विच हैज टू बी फॉर्म्ड, रिमेंबर. ओके, इन द सेकेंड मंथ लिम्स और डिजिट्स का फॉर्मेशन हो जाता है, हाथ और पाँव बन जाएंगे, फिंगर्स का फॉर्मेशन हो जाएगा. At the end of the 12th weeks means what, at the end of third month, major organs including the external genitalia is being also formed. थर्ड मंथ के अंत तक मेजर ऑर्गन्स का फॉर्मेशन हो जाएगा. even though the external genitalias are being expressed from the external view, means what, from the ultrasound mechanism we can easily identify whether the sex of the fetus is male or female. Now moving on to the second, that is the second trimester. जैसे ही 3 महीने पूरे होते हैं तो second trimester में इंटर कर जाता है, that is runs from the 4th, 5th and 6th month. So in the 5th month what happened, remember the first movement of the body, ये वो टाइम पीरियड होता है when female is observing or feeling the movement of fetus in the body. Fetus started its movement of the hand and the feet, they are inside the uterine womb only. तो फर्स्ट मूवमेंट इज रिकॉर्डेड इन द 5th month ओनली. और ये वो पीरियड होता है कि द बॉडी हैज फर्स्ट अपीयरेंस ऑफ द हेयर्स एंड द हेयर्स आर अपीयर्ड ऑन द हेड. So in the 5th month what happened, the movement will start, the first movement will be observed, and the body hairs originated not on the body but it originates on the head. So first time hairs are being originated on the head only. Okay, in the 6th month what happened, the development of hair is continuing, and now the body is being covered with the soft embryonic hairs. Are you getting my point? In the 6th month the body is covered with the soft embryonic hairs. That embryonic hairs are called as lenigo. Are you getting my point? Body is covered with the soft embryonic hair. That embryonic hairs are called as lenigo, and these embryonic hairs are present till the fetal period only. Just before the childbirth they started falling down, and if they are present there with the body, so they are being rubbed and wiped out with the after the childbirth by the gynecologist or the midwifery, those who are present there on. इस समय एक और इंपॉर्टेंट मूवमेंट होता है, अपर एंड लोअर आईलिड्स आर बीइंग फॉर्म्ड कंप्लीटली, दे हैव स्टार्टेड वर्किंग एंड दे आर बीइंग ओपनिंग, आंखों का खुलना शुरू हो जाता है, सेपरेशन शुरू हो जाता है, आई लैसेस आर बीइंग फॉर्म्ड. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? बॉडी इज कवर्ड विद द फाइन एयर्स कॉल्ड लैनिगो. ये 6th मंथ में होगा, अपर लोअर आईलिड्स सेपरेट होना शुरू हो जाएंगे, आई लैसेस बन जाएंगे. 7th मंथ तक में आईज आर गेटिंग ओपन एंड बोन्स अब सॉफ्ट से हार्ड होना शुरू हो जाती हैं, ऑसिफिकेशन की प्रोसेस शुरू हो जाती है, बोन्स आर गेटिंग कन्वर्टेड इन फॉर्म ऑफ द टफ स्ट्रक्चर दैट इज कॉल्ड एज ऑसिफिकेशन. बोन्स का ऑसिफिकेशन होना शुरू हो जाएगा. इसके बाद कहानी पहुंचती है 3rd ट्राइमेस्टर में. 3rd ट्राइमेस्टर तक में फीटस में कंप्लीट डेवलपमेंट ऑफ ऑर्गन्स हो चुका होता है. दिस ट्राइमेस्टर इज ओनली डेडिकेटेड फॉर द ग्रोथ एंड द डबलिंग ऑफ द वेट. यहाँ पे वेट का बढ़ना होता है, ग्रोथ होता है, साइज में इनलार्जमेंट होता है, एंड दिस टाइम द फीटस इज sufficiently developed, and sometime the premature birth are being given, or sometime the premature births are being caused. So इस समय premature birth अगर हो जाती तो fetus can survive by some additional support. So the 3rd trimester fetus is matured enough so that it could be रेडी फॉर द प्री मैच्योर बर्थ इफ इट इज नीडेड, और लास्ट तक आते आते इसका वेट डबल हो जाता है. सो दिस इज व्हाट द कंप्लीट डेवलपमेंट. तो फर्स्ट ट्राइमेस्टर में क्या हुआ, हमने सारे के सारे ऑर्गन्स का डेवलपमेंट हो जाता है, इंटरनल ऑर्गन्स का डेवलपमेंट हो जाएगा. सबसे पहला स्ट्रक्चर क्या बनता है, दैट इज हार्ट. और फर्स्ट साइन ये कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम में पूछा जाता है, द फर्स्ट साइन ऑफ द हार्ट, फर्स्ट साइन ऑफ द ग्रोइंग एम्ब्रियो इज बीइंग रिकॉर्डेड विद द हेल्प ऑफ स्टेथोस्कोप, दैट इज बीइंग हियरिंग ऑफ द हार्ट साउंड. सेकेंड मंथ में क्या होगा, लिम्बो डिजिट का फॉर्मेशन. द 3rd मंथ इज गोइंग टू appear are going to develop all the major structures including the external genitalia. सेकेंड ट्राइमेस्टर में फर्स्ट मूवमेंट फिफ्थ मंथ में हो जाएगा, हेयर्स आ जाएंगे हेड के ऊपर. सिक्स्थ मंथ में बॉडी इज कवर्ड विद द हेयर्स एंड द अपर एंड लोअर आईलिड्स आर बीइंग फॉर्म्ड, eyelashes are being formed. 7 months में eyes are ready to open out, bones are begun to ossify, हड्डी मजबूत होने लगती है, ऑसिफिकेशन की प्रोसेस शुरू हो जाती है. थर्ड ट्राइमेस्टर में बॉडी फुल्ली डेवलप हो चुकी होती है एंड द फीटस कैन बी टेकन बर्थ इफ द सिचुएशंस आर critical. So premature birth or premature delivery can be performed and at the end of 7th month in the third trimester. और ये फेज पूरी तरीके से डेडिकेटेड है फॉर द इंक्रीजिंग इन साइज and doubling of the weight. At the end of the pregnancy time, at the end of gestation, at the end of the 40th week, the weight of the fetus is almost doubles from the previous weight. So this is all about the pregnancy and the embryonic development. Now we are all set for the childbirth. So in the next lecture we'll see the process of childbirth, that is called as parturition. Till the time, thank you.